No, I absolutely love movies like this, especially documentaries. Documentaries are that particular genre where I look at them and I go, you know what? This is so much better than anything else that somebody can just sit down and write. If you come up with a drama, chances are it is not going to be as good as something that somebody else had actually experienced and somebody recorded on camera. That is the magic of documentary filmmaking. And that's where the magic of this particular documentary comes in. It's called Exit Through the Gift Shop, and it's not written by, but it's directed by, and excuse me if I get his name wrong, because it's Bakshi or Bakshi. I keep on thinking of, the animation director, Ralph Bakshi, but it's directed by this guy who's this really famous street artist. He's just done this incredibly controversial stuff. He did this thing at Disneyland where he made it look like a Guantanamo Bay victim was hanging from Big Thunder Mountain and other kinds of stuff that was insane. You wouldn't believe that somebody would actually go out there and do this sort of stuff. And that's what makes this documentary so fascinating, is the fact that he took this footage that this other filmmaker, this guy who just had this camera out, and he was recording all these different street artists in their particular phases and showing how their process works and how they go up there and how they put this art up in the first place. And it really helps to convey the fact that, you know what, these people who are putting up this art, they just aren't these. They are vandals in a sense, but they aren't just that. They are actually artists. They are conveying a message. They are bringing it forth. A lot of these things that they put up there, they aren't just random. They actually mean something. And that's a really brave statement to make in a documentary, which in the end, by the time that the whole thing folds over, it's basically about how street art had come to the mainstream. And in a way, and this is my interpretation of it, I realize that a lot of people talk about this particular film because there's so many different ways that you can really look at it as far as like the message that Bakshi is trying to convey. Because he shows the journey of this particular guy who was recording all these artists and how he began just, this kind of documentary filmmaker with no intention of actually making a documentary, to a street artist himself who puts on this exhibition and becomes renowned, becomes known as this famous, important artist. And really the documentary just portrays this guy as being a hack, and it kind of shows how with enough hype, and if you release art during like a particular trend, it is going to be renowned regardless of whether it's crap or not. And I think that's a really interesting message to bring forth to people, because it's something that I keep on thinking all the time is like, wow, and you see it happen with films all the time where something gets overhyped, and then when people come out of it, they just go, oh my God, it was just such an experience, and I was so moved by it. It was such a great, interesting, important film. And then you really look at the film from a non-biased perspective and you start to go, yeah, it is what it is, but there are issues here and here, and I don't quite see how you would say this would rank up to some of the best work that has come out of that particular medium. This guy who put on this exhibition, he just slapped the damn thing together, and people were coming out of it going, oh my God, it's just like, it's so moving, more art needs to be like this. And basically it's a selling out of this particular culture. They did it before because it was dangerous and it was new and it was kind of like being Robin Hood, spreading your message across buildings and almost getting caught by cops, and it was exciting. And then you start to see it in street art as just kind of like being sold to the masses now. Everybody's like, oh, it's so edgy and so cutting. And you begin to realize this is where trends go to die, is when the mainstream picks it up and kind of twists it into being something that can be consumed by the masses. And how depressing is that? If any of what I'm saying to you right now is even the slightest bit interesting, I recommend you check out this documentary on YouTube. Or, no, it's not on YouTube actually, it's on Netflix, the greatest service in the world. So if you have Netflix still and you're not one of the people who bailed when they doubled their prices because they're evil, evil corporate people, then definitely check this one out. It is well worth your documentary time. And I actually found myself being quite moved by it, and all those questions about what makes art, and what is real art, and what is the importance of art, that all comes forth in this film. And you can have really interesting discussions with your friends and your peeps about it, even if you aren't the type to like go out and go to the art galleries, which I certainly am not. So check it out, it is amazing. And before I go, mwah.